It is a melancholy object to those who walk through our great cities or travel in the country when they see the streets, the crime, the hunger, the racism, and the homelessness. Our national debt has now reached $19 trillion, and we do not know where we will obtain funds for necessary social programs. Although politicians with greater minds than mine have searched for new revenue sources, I would like to make a modest proposal. We have wasted a precious national resource that most of us have overlooked. I am speaking of the immense potential inherent in the sale of body parts. The sale of fetal body parts has purchased Lamborghinis for Planned Parenthood officials for years. Why should not the taxpayer get some relief by taxing human body parts and applying the windfall to the national debt? 1.5 million babies per year, each with 2 kidneys, at $75 a throw, equals $2.25 billion, and that is only kidneys. If we taxed each body part at 10%, that would be $22,500,000 toward the national debt in kidneys alone. It won't eliminate our indebtedness, but there are livers and hearts to consider. The surgeons at Planned Parenthood know how to use less crunchy methods to preserve organs and how to keep the hearts beating while they remove brains from more valuable specimens. I would think that they should go for $125 per infant at least, perhaps more. Naysayers may suggest that this would devalue life, but it is clear that the opposite is true. A tax on body parts would add to the value of human beings by attaching a monetary value to the constituent pieces, making more money available for necessary government expenditures. Nothing would prove more that Black Lives Matter than this, because most abortion clinics are built near black neighborhoods. In cities like New York, where more black babies are aborted than are born, this would show that Black Lives matter greatly, because each black life that used to be thrown in a trash can would be a great boon to the local tax base. It would go to build roads and bridges, pay welfare, and advance forward-thinking progressive politicians. As a progressive politician, Hillary Clinton has led the way on this. She knows only the constituent parts of a human have value, and not the life itself. So she has shown great wisdom in not rescuing a handful of ambassadors and soldiers in Benghazi, turning a deaf ear to their repeated pleas for help. How many millions, perhaps billions, would have been added to the national debt if she, as Secretary of State, had not ordered their rescuers to stand down? At that point, what difference would it have made? The Americans who died at Benghazi would not have had enough kidneys, livers, hearts, and brains to ever repay the costs for just the jet fuel alone. Besides, who knows if adult body parts are as valuable for research as baby parts? Everyone knows that fetal tissue is where the government grants are. The laboratories receive taxpayer money as grants to buy the body parts from Planned Parenthood. Politicians have voted $528.4 million per year for Planned Parenthood for women's health care. In turn, Planned Parenthood buys politicians with campaign donations. What if politicians made grant money available for older body parts? Planned Parenthood could be promised harvesting rights at drug overdose, school shooting, and cop slaughter sites. And who is more experienced at body harvesting than Planned Parenthood? If Congress is a little reluctant to come up with the grants, surely Barack Obama, who received $133,763, and Hillary Clinton, who received $46,282 from Planned Parenthood, could apply some pressure to the more squeamish politicians. Statistics from 1973 onward point out the increasing value we have placed on the fetus. If we valued the living as much as the previously living in the womb, think how valuable mankind becomes. Each of us would be worth the sale of a pair of kidneys, a liver, a heart, and a brain, unless our organs had been damaged by illness or accident. Perhaps enterprising entrepreneurs could find profitable uses for other body parts also. We might glean from Nazi journals how to make lampshades from skin too, instead of wasting it in saline solutions, where it takes the skin hours to burn off a writhing fetus. Planned Parenthood might skin them alive for research, as they have already perfected this on taxpayers. And the taxpayer would benefit by adding to the national coffers not only while he lives, but when he is harvested too. This would probably cut down on school shootings also. No young person could think that his life or his schoolmates' lives didn't have value, because everyone would be worth the sale of his or her body parts. So a potential shooter would not want to shoot others because it might damage the value of human life. Planned Parenthood officials have stated that sale value must be considered in how life should be taken. Perhaps students considering shooting classmates would use strangulation or scissors to the back of the head, Planned Parenthood fashion. And it would make cleanup of the streets so much easier if killers threw down their guns and knives and used pillows to suffocate. Planned Parenthood could give a premium to those who harvested using less crunchy techniques. Then this next generation could follow the examples in Planned Parenthood in valuing human life and in reducing the national debt. And the best part of this proposal is that it allows politicians to give back. They have extorted protection money from businesses to bolster their campaign coffers, have siphoned the public blood into dummy corporations staffed by their family and donors, and profited from insider trading that would put the rest of us in jail. With this plan, most Republicans would be fully taxable upon harvest, as long as purchasers do not require guts or backbones. Unfortunately, the taxpayer takes a loss on Democratic politicians who have had no hearts since 1973. If any wise person can conceive a solution equally as innocent, cheap, easy, and effectual as my simple idea of a 10% tax on body parts, I would like to hear it. My modest proposal would prove that not just black lives, but all lives matter.